Hello everyone, my name is Anya and as promised I'm back with my Vril series. So what I wanted to do is introduce the Vril energy in combination with the runes, how you can use them to heal your body. And I started out with the Vril series, what Vril is, what we can do with it, what happened regarding technology up to these days. And for now, I really don't want to get into the real societies and all of that because the internet is full with informations like that. So for me, it feels like beating a dead horse. So I thought I'd rather use this to introduce rather than how to heal yourself with those runes. But also be aware that if you use them to heal your body, you should be familiar with runes. You should have worked with them. You should understand them. And if not, you should always consider someone to heal you or do energy work or rune work with a person that you know is familiar with it and that you trust. So, but this is just my little advice. So, So, and like I said, if you're familiar with runes or you listen to my rune series, you will know by now and understand that each rune symbol represents energy patterns that we can work with. So we can transform with this real energy different manifestations. And there's also the way of sounds that I use singing the rune, but this is for later, I would say. Let's just start slowly. So, but with these shapes and sounds, we can harness the universal energy, the real energy. We can bring shape into the chaos. That's what we can do with. And just like as a hint, think about how the universe was created. Well, from what we know anyways, right? So, but if you feel into it, it was created from chaos, from the ice and fire. And so again, it's about balance. And I talked about it before, the use of energy, dark and light, above as below, within so without, and so on. One cannot exist without the other. So, and right now, from what I see and what you see too, our world is about to restore this balance again. Because the real energy is misused, right? As we know, by greedy organizations, societies, corporate magicians, especially the Vatican, right? And so on. So even in politics. So, and now you say it's black magic. And again, I say there's no black or white magic. It's what you do with it, the intention. So, and all of them that I just mentioned, they might use sigils, letters, numbers, and so on. But in the end, it is nothing else but harvesting Vril energy. Unfortunately, just not for the good. And therefore, with harnessing only dark energy, they create their own demons or bring in some other beings of other dimensions that have been created by someone else. Demons or entities are nothing else but created, manifested energy by someone else. Keep that in mind. Like us humans, we're created by energy. So, but I mentioned already in one of my Vril shows what happens if you use only dark or only light. So that's why I'm not repeating this. So, and since we are energy coming from the universe, I would like to explain how to use the runes, and the energy to help us heal. So, look at our spine. Our spine is our root, our tree, right? And the leaves from bottom to top. And our energy points, the chakras, our DNA, Like each point, each organ can get healed with the runes and the real energy. If one of these energy points is blocked or sick, the energy can flow and therefore it will cause you issues. We get sick, angry, sad, hyper, get anxieties, and so on. The list goes on, right? We even might lose our connection. And for all of this, there is always a reason. I see it kind of like our alarm system. So the runes are connected to the real energy, or we can harness the real energy with these symbols, with the runes. So therefore we can ask them and they will point it out to us. And this is why it is so important to get familiar with runes. I can't stress it enough, really. So don't just buy a bag and start pulling them nilly-willy. You have to feel and understand this energy. It takes time. It really takes time. No one became a rune master overnight. Trust me. But it's life. It's all a learning process, right? And I also have to say that runes are not for everyone. It's just a fact, and I don't mean that in a nasty way. I just mean it as again, like I said, I don't mean it in a nasty way. Everybody else has their own tools, right? Some have crystals, some have the tarot cards, or whatever works for them. I as well use my incense because plants are energy. They transform a certain energy and therefore can draw real energy as well. And so same with the trees, right? So and yeah, and with all energy work, that's my personal opinion. It's always important to start from the bottom, like our chakras are aligned, for example, right? It's always important to start from the bottom, from the root, because if the root is sick and not deeply enough grounded, how can the rest of the tree be healthy? You get my point? So if you start from the top, that can't work. I mean, you can't start with the leaves. The leaves, the crown needs the root. So, but that's my opinion to that. And also with chakras, if you start from the top, you decharge them. And if you start from the bottom, you recharge them. That's, my experience with things. So be careful. So, I also mentioned that our spine is Eihwaz, the Yggdrasil tree, right? And our spine has two systems, and one of them is the cerebral spine system, where the real energy runs through 24 vertebrae of the spine. And that does not include the sacral regions or the backbone. And the chakras are attached to it as well as our organs. And the cerebral is responsible for the larger brain and skull cavity, where our thoughts, feelings, memory, consciousness, etc. are, right? And the smaller brain part is responsible for our movement, for our organs, and so on. I mean, I'm not a scientist, so I can't explain all of the functions of the brain and the nervous system in a scientific way. And I'm not even going to pretend. I mean, I can Google and get some fancy report. That's not mine, and I'm not doing this. So, so you're gonna get it simple here. Sorry. So but our spine is the transmitter for the real energy. This much I can tell you. And along with the runes, you can heal certain parts if you need to. Is it chakras, organs, other body parts, your soul. And I mentioned some healing possibilities with runes in my rune series. So, I already talked about the Vril in combination with Eihwaz, Anzus, and Urus, but I just start from the beginning again because I want to get a little deeper into the Vril and the rune. So, like I mentioned before, Eihwaz is the Yggdrasil tree, the cosmic axis, as well as our spinal cord, right? So, and the rune causes Vril energy to travel between the different worlds in the Yggdrasil and between the different level of consciousness and our spine. So Eihwaz, or also called Eo, is the stem of the world tree Yggdrasil, which connects heaven, earth, and underworld, the cosmic axis, right? She's the gateway to the worlds outside of Midgard. So Midgard is the center, right? And the worlds outside are therefore our organs, body parts, chakras. So, and with Eihwaz, you can harness the Vril energy, and it sends us on a trip in the trance and gives us the power of visualization. It makes no difference between traveling to heal in the underworld or to Odin in the overworld, because we humans are surrounded by both opposites and both want and need to be lived. So Eihwaz is probably one of the most powerful runes because she's the backbone of man and the universe. Destructive and foreign influences can be neutralized with this rune as well. So, and she also stands for the mystery of life and death, and therefore helps you take away the fear of dying. And I mean dying in every level. And magicians use the rune also for astral travel. So with her, you will feel and understand the Vril flowing through you better. So, but let's look at the spine again, as Yggdrasil. The upper world, the crown of Yggdrasil, blossoms in full beauty, although in the underworld all sorts of animals gnaw and chew on the roots and trying to bring them down. But Yggdrasil is always renewed by the power of the Norns, the past, present, future, the Vril energy. So with the Vril, we can heal this tree, our spine, our body. We give it more hold. So, and the Yggdrasil symbolizes immortality. It for me, it is the yew tree, right? Not the ash. But people have different opinions about it. But for me, it's for sure the yew tree. So, and the yew tree symbolizes immortality and the cycle of death and rebirth. So when the tree grows, the trunk inside becomes soft and rots. But within the yew, a new sapling is growing. And when it matures, the same process begins again until the tree is made up of many trees growing out of the center. You will see this if you have the privilege to see an old yew tree. So, and thanks to this miraculous renewal, the yew can grow enormously old. So with this process, the Yggdrasil, the yew tree, we can renew ourselves with the Vril energy. It helps us to renew with the Vril energy our body, our spine, our root, our hold, our center. So, and also what it does as well is you can heal any skin issues as well with it, because our skin protects us, right? Our skin is our first line of defense, so to speak. And with the harness Vril and Eihwaz, we can help build the body's defenses as well. So this is where the Vril energy will flow together with Eihwaz through your spine. It will heal the rotten parts, the sick parts, and renew them. I also see the spine as the carrier of our DNA. So whenever I do energy work with people, I get access to this DNA and I can see it heal, renew it with the Vril and runes that I harness. I see it rebuilding differently. So because the DNA, it holds the secrets and the encoding of immortality together with Eihwaz and the tree, as well as our chakra system, the Haval. Because the DNA is always a secret, right? We know there's something missing, but we can grab it, and science will, of course, not tell us what is wrong with us, because a broken DNA brings much more money, right? So, and that means people get sick, people will die, and even with death, they make money. So, but with all this together, the Vril, Eihwaz, and the DNA, you can get to the secrets and the encoding of it. I mean, it's not done in a day or with one session, so don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that this is a process. So, what else did I want to say? Yeah. So, like I said, I was connected to the Yggdrasil, your spine, and with her, right, the energy can flow through. And the form of the rune Eihwaz is very instructive of this mystery. So, with examine the flow of the Vrilic energy, we can discover a duality that is instrumental in the way we can explore for example, the macrocosmos and microcosm, life, death, the outer and inner natures, and higher and lower consciousness. So, and to rise upward, you must enter the realms of higher consciousness, and to move downward, you must enter the realms of lower consciousness. So there is no, as above, so below, within, so without. You cannot do one without the other. It's because at the end you will meet in the center again. So, and also I wanted to say with the DNA, this is something that I see on my journeys, how I see the DNA, how I see it sparkle, growing, spinning, adding parts to it, heal some parts with it, like the Norns do with the threads. So I weave on the DNA, and this is no channeled mumbo jumbo. This is all coming while I go on a journey and connect with that real energy. So, this is coming from myself, and that's what I do. So, and I just talk about what I do, what I see, and not about things that would sound cool. I don't. But you get my point. I mean, you know me by now anyways, right? So, what else? Yeah, with it, you can align your inner axis to build the connection to Mother Earth, the root chakra, and to the sky, the crown chakra, right? Through this, you can awaken yourself through the heart chakra and for the power of love, and act with perseverance and foresight. And the inner view makes you free and invites you to be patient in your life as a fixed component to integrate, right? So you need to avoid four-sided difficulties by doing the right thing, or you can, but know that discomfort also promotes your growth, and trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I do. So yeah, that was this part for now, the Eihwaz rune and the real energy, because this is, like, I see the stem, and yeah, it's the source and the vital force, so that's why I had to start with it. And like I said in the beginning, I will concentrate on the healing part of Vril and runes and not on the magical part, because I don't want to be responsible if something goes wrong. If one would experiment with it, because runes are powerful, and I'm not joking, I'm trying to be dramatic and important. They are really powerful, and they can not only heal, they can bite you in the ass if you use them wrong or misuse them. So that's why it's so important to take your time to get to know the runes, to feel into them, right? And but however, I'm willing to teach what I know about the magical aspects and everything in a personal webinar, but I will have to see the person and have a conversation before. I don't do it by email or whatever. I will need personal contact as much as possible. So yeah, in this way I can maybe pass on what I know and what I've learned over the years, many years. Yeah, I hope you can work with it and enjoyed it. And I hope you understand as well. And I will be back next week with another incense, I can't talk. So yeah, and then in 2 weeks I will be back with the real energy in another rune. So and I hope you liked what you hear, and I hope I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.